All right. Welcome back to Sports Scrutiny Live. You are live here with BJ
And
and
Rob.
Rob. That's
Oh,
right.
oh,
That's
you're
right.
Rob. You're Rob. I don't get to talk.
No, well,
You,
I
you're just
just
gonna you're
kind
just
of,
gonna take all the spotlight.
I did, man. I'm sorry about that, but it's my fault. um, so, once again, guys, we want to thank everybody who stopped in last week and helped show Tanya Evinger some love. We definitely enjoyed her being on our show last week. We appreciate all the likes, all the comments, everything. We really do appreciate that, guys. Starting off, we are going to start off with some MMA news. We're going to do a little differently this week. Usually, we start off with some MLB or NFL, either one. But this week, we are going to start a little differently. We are going to talk about Tanya Evinger. So check this out, Rob. Tanya Evinger uh, calls out Chris Cyborg again. She says she wants to fight Chris Cyborg again. And she said that all she needed to get the win was just a couple changes in her camp. Because she says she knows how it feels to fight Cyborg, and she knows what exactly that she needs to do to beat Cyborg. So Tanya Evinger is calling out Cyborg again, which it'll probably, I don't know, I'm not exactly sure if that'll happen again. But she is calling out Cyborg, saying that she is pretty confident that she can beat Cyborg the
How many
second
people
time
have called
around.
Cyborg out?
I don't know what's gotten into people, man, but people are feeling like calling Cyborg out lately. And I mean,
As many people have done it though.
a couple people have done it. A couple people have straight up said that they would get in there with Chris Cyborg.
Maybe
So,
maybe they've been watching some tape and they figured out her weakness finally.
exactly. Yeah, that's what I'm
Even
thinking
even
too, bro.
even even the
Especially,
best got beat.
but it's kind of strange that it happened after Tanya Evinger fought Cyborg, and even I said Tanya Evinger sort of in a way, she sort of exposed Chris Cyborg because she put I mean she actually had Cyborg hesitant because Cyborg didn't rush in on Tanya, which was very very noticeable that she didn't do that. So it was pretty now that people see that and they see exactly what Tanya did as far as being patient and letting and counter punching Cyborg, people have kind of, I guess, are coming up with a game plan that they could beat her. So um I like Tanya Evinger though to call her out. I mean, to expose her in a way. But tagging on to Chris Cyborg, man, there's been a lot of attention on Cyborg here lately because she's supposed to be fighting Holly Holm December 30th. And apparently, Cyborg, Holly first made a video about Cyborg because Cyborg's been going on a Twitter rant talking about Holly, saying that Holly should be tested more as far as like the USADA should definitely test Holly more, which in a way I kind of understand what Cyborg is saying because um, out of Jackson Wink's camp, there's been a lot of fighters that have tested positive for, and
That's the
so
same.
what?
That's the same manager as John Jones, right?
Yeah, that's the same trainers that John Jones has, and so I understand exactly what Holly's saying, but I understand what Cyborg's saying, that
Right.
Holly should be tested, but Cyborg really doesn't have that much room to talk because Cyborg's been popped for steroids before,
Oh yeah,
and
you could tell.
so if anybody should be being tested more, it should be Cyborg, and so Holly makes a
Maybe
video. Go ahead.
maybe Cyborg just knows that Holly might have her number, the same as Holly
That's what I think.
had old Ronda Rousey's number.
Ronda Rousey's number. Oh yeah. And so, anyways, after Cyborg goes on her Twitter rant about Holly, um, Holly makes a video saying, that she's actually been tested because USADA's page, their website is very public. So they see, you can go on there and see how many times somebody's been tested. And Holly has actually been tested more than Cyborg. So one, it's only by one test, but Holly's been tested actually more than Cyborg.
Still, that
So
one test makes a difference. Ask John Jones.
yeah, ask John Jones. That's exactly right. But so then Cyborg makes a response video, saying, stop talking all the junk. I'm gonna whip your PG
Right.
13. I'm gonna whip your ass in the cage. That's the video that Cyborg makes, telling Holly, you can talk all you want to talk, Holly, but I'm gonna whip your ass in the cage. So that was pretty intense for Cyborg, because Cyborg's not big on talking junk. She's more of a I'll show you what I can do versus
Right.
tell you and argue with you on the press. So that was
Mm-hmm.
that was kind of crazy. So moving on to Conor McGregor. Of course, Conor McGregor stays in the news, especially the MMA news. So what it is Khabib. Remember, I talked about Khabib last week. Was the guy who wrestled bears when he was a little kid.
Yeah.
So Khabib, he actually is calling for, because he was supposed to fight Conor McGregor, but he was sick with the weight cut and all. So he was out, and he's
Right.
calling for Diaz McGregor 3 so that he can fight the new interim champion. Remember, I talked about that last week. The new interim
Yeah. Yep.
champion,
Yep.
Tony Ferguson. He wants to fight Tony Ferguson for the interim belt. Really, and then he wants McGregor and Diaz to fight for a third time. So I don't. And people are saying that Nurmagomedov is trying to duck McGregor because he thinks Diaz will beat McGregor this time. I don't think that that's the case. I think that Nurmagomedov is. I think he wants a belt so bad. He doesn't care if it's an interim belt or if it's the real belt. I just think he wants a belt really, really bad. So I don't think
I'd
he's
rather have the
quite
real belt.
ready, because I don't think he's quite ready to go in and fight Conor McGregor, because he hasn't had a fight in so long. He was out. He was sick. He couldn't fight. So I think that I think he's prepping himself kind of for McGregor. I think he doesn't really care who wins the McGregor Diaz. That's just kind of a way for him to
Waste
I don't
time.
I
That's how I see it.
waste time. Yeah, yeah. It's just buying him a little bit more time. So that's honestly what I think. But I think that he would beat McGregor if when they fight. I don't know about Tony Ferguson, because Tony Ferguson just put on a spectacular performance against Kevin Lee, and but Nurmagomedov is 24-0. So that will be a fantastic, whoever fights, whether it's
Who?
Diaz McGregor, Ferguson McGregor, or Nurmagomedov McGregor, whoever it is, or even Nurmagomedov Diaz. That'll be a pretty good fight.
If
So
Diaz and McGregor go again, who you think will win?
if
How?
Diaz McGregor goes again, I'm gonna have to go with Diaz. I mean,
How?
I'm just how I think it'll be via submission again, because he lost on the feet according to the judges. He lost on the feet
Second
with
fight. Yeah.
the second fight with McGregor. Yeah, so I believe that the straight up submission, rear naked choke probably again. And that's just what I think. I may be wrong, but this is all supposed to go down at UFC. Nurmagomedov wants to fight him at UFC 219, which is in the very near future.
Right.
Um,
I'm thinking
moving
if
up,
that
go
fight.
ahead.
I think if that fight happened again, I think McGregor would win.
You
I
think
think he would
McGregor would win the
be.
third time?
I think. Yeah. I think his strategy would be a little bit different. I think he would probably approach it differently.
Okay.
He not people don't give him credit a lot for his knowledge, and
His
I
fight
feel
IQ.
like yeah, he would figure something out. I don't think that he would allow himself to get submitted again. I mean, I understand Diaz is like a punching bag and he can take those hits, but I think McGregor would find more openings because he found a lot more openings in the second fight. I think he'll probably
Yeah,
find
he
more in the
did.
third fight. I think he'd find
Yeah, he
more in the
knocked him
third
down.
fight.
He knocked Diaz down like 3 or 4 times in that fight. So that was kind of surprising to see Diaz go down that many times, and to see McGregor put somebody down that many times, and then them get right back up.
Yeah, and them not
So
actually
that
be
was
down.
right. So that, because when he put Jose Aldo, and when he put Eddie Alvarez down, I mean, I think he put Eddie Alvarez down like maybe 2 or 3 times, and once
I think it was
that
three
last time
times.
he was gone.
Well, three
To
times
take
total, but yeah, the last time it was done for sure.
yeah, that last time he was out. So I think that he will. I think it'll be a good fight, but I just think Diaz will win via submission once again. Um,
Mm, I,
so moving up to the welterweight division, Tyron Woodley
I
says
like
that a
him.
potential. I like Tyron. Tyron's my favorite champion right now, only because he's been under a lot of scrutiny because of his feud with Dana White, um, the bald headed monster, of course, and
Yeah,
he doesn't
the
get.
Roger Goodell wannabe.
Yeah, the Roger Goodell wannabe. He is saying that a GSP McGregor, because some all of a sudden there's this feud between GSP and McGregor, and I mean I really don't understand it because McGregor's the 155-pound champ, and I don't understand why he's feuding with GSP, who's a welterweight naturally, and is going to go up and fight at middleweight with Michael Bisping. So I don't understand
Right.
why McGregor is trying to start a feud with him. But um, Tyron Woodley said that potential GSP McGregor bout is a disrespect to him. He says GSP is moving weight classes to dodge a loss against him, which in a way I kind of agree with that because when GSP Tyron Woodley sort of like look back, kind of like Amanda Nunes. Amanda Nunes said that she trained her whole career to fight Ronda Rousey, and she finally got that chance. And Tyron Woodley has been, he's been training all this time to get up and fight GSP, but of course GSP retired the champion, so
Yeah.
he hadn't had this chance, and then now Tyron's the champ in the welterweight division, so he hadn't had his chance to fight GSP, and then GSP decides he wants to come back and go up in class and fight Michael Bisping, and I don't understand that. I think that he should definitely fight within his weight class, and he should fight Tyron Woodley, because I mean
Who do you think
people
will win that fight?
ducking, most definitely Tyron Woodley would beat, he would definitely beat GSP, and it's just the way Tyron Woodley is a very strategic fighter. Like he doesn't just go in there and wailing like a lot of these fighters do. He's very, very strategic, which leads to a quote unquote boring fight.
Yeah.
But his fights are really not boring if you know what you're looking at.
Yeah,
He's
it's almost
if you know
like
what you
a. He almost approaches it like Floyd Mayweather
right,
does.
yeah, 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 yeah. So
Of course,
it's not
not
really
Floyd's fight with Connor, but like Floyd fighting, a professional boxer of such.
right.
He approaches
Yeah,
it in more of a tactical manner.
right, exactly. So that's what I think. I think that he will come out. I think that Tyron Woodley. I don't think GSP. He hadn't fought in 4.5 years, man. So I don't think that his. I don't think he's ready to go in. And I think he knows that he's not ready to go in and fight somebody with the kind of power that Tyron Woodley has. Because Tyron Woodley is nothing but power. Like
Yeah, he's a tough guy.
yeah, man. I mean, he's a tough guy, and his muscle definition is just way bigger. I think, and he looks like a middleweight. He doesn't look like a welterweight, but I guess because he's short, it makes him look more like a welterweight.
Yeah, I'm surprised that he's your favorite champion and DC's not.
DC is will be my second favorite champion. I like DC a lot. DC is there's a lot of controversy around DC and him being champion. Of course, with John Jones failing and not being there, and then he's
Who's
back, and then
that?
he fails again.
Who's that?
It's just there's a lot of scrutiny around him being uh,
Who's John
the
Jones?
champion. Yeah, yeah. Who's John Jones? But um, but my prediction would be Tyron Woodley knocks him out in
Yeah, I agree.
second or
I
third
agree. I
round.
think he probably, yeah. I'm thinking a knockout late in the second round.
And let's see. GSP was the longest running welterweight champion, never losing his belt. So he never lost his belt, but retired and returned in a 4 year layoff. Woodley says they don't want those problems, and that's the truth. GSP does not want those Tyron Woodley problems. That's just how it is. I'm saying it how it is. This is Sports Scrutiny Live, y'all. We say it how it is, and GSP was actually offered that fight. He was offered Tyron Woodley, and he said
What's
no.
Tyron Woodley's record and who's beating him?
He lost. I think the last time Tyron Woodley lost was in Strike Force. So
So he's never
I think
lost
he
in the
may have
UFC.
lost. I think he's lost one time in the UFC.
Hmm.
And what's up, Darius? We got the live chat going on. What's up, Darius? How you doing, bro? Thanks for joining in, man. It's good to see you in there, paying attention to us. Um, let's see, as a champion, he says that and then also the McGregor thing with GSP. They're trying to say that they want that fight to happen at 170 because McGregor has fought at 170. So he fought Diaz at 170. So what they're trying to say is they want that fight to happen at 170 with McGregor and GSP, but that is the big slap in the face for Tyron Woodley. How is GSP gonna come to once if since he's not? I mean,
That's a
he's
huge
got
weight difference to
yeah, that's what I'm
GSP.
saying. Like, okay, he's fighting middleweight, 185. He's fighting that against Michael Bisping.
Right.
But if he's going to come down and fight 170, the only person that he should be fighting is Tyron Woodley. But he's talking about fighting Conor McGregor. So it's kind of like, that's a big slap in the face to Tyron Woodley. Like GSP doesn't think Tyron Woodley is worthy enough to fight him because he was the champion. He retired the champion and he's making his big comeback. Come on.
Well,
Conor McGregor is a
I don't
featherweight.
think I'm thinking maybe it's not the case. Maybe it's just a money thing. People don't want to see Woodley the way that they want to see McGregor.
True.
At the end of
True.
the day, it's all about money. Nobody cares about records. Nobody cares about who deserves what. As long as you're making money, then the train is going to keep on rolling.
And I think that's what GSP's shooting for. I think he's shooting for money fights. I think that's exactly what he's doing
Yeah, why
because
else he come out of retirement? Ask Floyd Mayweather why he came out of retirement.
exactly. I think he wanted to. I don't think that GSP cares really about a belt. This is me personally. I don't think he really cares about a belt. I think he cares about the money because he's seeing what these people are making now after he's gone
Yeah,
versus
4 years later. Yeah, yeah, definitely.
versus what he was making when he was champion. So I think that he's here for the money. I don't think he cares about a belt. If the money fight is a championship fight, I think he's just like I'll take it. So
Yeah, yeah. He probably don't
anyways,
make as much as he used to make winning a championship fight, as if he comes back and loses.
right, exactly. So like I said, I think this is like you said, Rob. I think it's more about money, bro.
It's
Yeah, he
always about
did lose
money.
to yeah, Jeremy, he did. He lost to Roy McDonald. That's exactly right. And I think that's the only person he lost against in the UFC. He took some losses in Strike Force, but I think that's the only person that he lost to in the UFC was Roy McDonald. If I'm not mistaken, I may be wrong, guys, on that. I didn't look it up, but I mean, but just know Tyron Woodley hadn't lost a whole lot.
Right.
Yeah. But anyway, I think Woodley should be more focused on the winner of Robbie Lawler versus Rafael Dos Anjos because those guys are fighting for number one contender. Those guys are fighting to be in line for a championship fight. So I think Tyron Woodley should really just push all that GSP McGregor
Yeah, he
stuff. He
needs to
should
push that.
push that all to the
It,
side. Don't even worry about that. I think he needs to focus on who's coming up next in his division, not these people that are jumping from division to division, all that stuff. I think he needs to just focus on what he's doing, focus on his weight class, and focus on his next fight because Robbie Lawler wants blood from Tyron Woodley because Tyron knocked him out in the first. Robbie was a very dominant champion. Robbie Lawler is a was a very dominant champion, and I think that when he got in there, he didn't know what to expect when he got in there with Tyron Woodley, and Tyron knocked him out in the first round, viciously knocked him out, man. I mean, hit him one time and ground and pound him out. So I think he's smelling blood. I think Rafael Dos Anjos is ready to get back in the title contention. Um, he's been in title contention very many times. Um, Jeremy Hines said, "Do you think Kevin Lee would have lost if he didn't have the staph infection?" I don't think the staph infection had anything to do with it. I just don't think he was ready for. I don't think he was ready for Tony Ferguson, man. He keeps saying that the staph infection had him emotional. I don't think this. I mean, he may have been in some pain. I don't know. I've never had a staph infection, but I mean, maybe if this, I mean, I guess it may have taken a toll on his cardio because he did say his cardio felt a little bit off. Um, so I would say he may have done a much better job. I say he would have done a much better job if he didn't have the staph infection. So, yeah, I kind of agree with that.
You think he would have still lost without it?
See, now that's a different question, bro. I don't know if he still would have lost. I don't know if he'd have won without staph infection. It was a good fight, but Tony Ferguson is ready to be champion. I mean, he's ready to be champion. So, I mean, maybe he would have. Maybe we'll see that rematch one day without a staph infection. So
You know what I say about
we'll
that?
see, man. Good question. Good question, Jeremy.
You know what I say about that?
Um,
Real fighters don't have excuses.
Real fighters don't have excuses. That is the truth. And real fighters do not have excuses. So it is what it is. But Derek Lewis, heavyweight Derek Lewis, he said he's actually out with a serious back injury, and everyone gave him a lot of scrutiny because he pulled out of his fight, but he couldn't move his legs, man. I mean, like he something happened during training, just a few days before the fight. He said he was sparring and everything felt well. His cardio was up. His weight was down. He was ready for the weight
Because
cuts.
sounds to me like his sparring partner whooped his ass.
That might have been the case. Um, but he's out, man. He said he can't move his legs, and
Yeah, but
that's
that's
not very
unfortunate.
good.
You never want to see that. You always want to see him get through a camp, a healthy camp, a strong camp. You want to see him at least to get to the finish line and perform for the his fans and such.
Yeah, yeah. Because I mean, I'm a Derek Lewis fan, man. He's a big man. I like Derek Lewis. I seen him especially when he destroyed Travis Brown. But anyways, we're gonna move on a little bit from that. MMA World, they are saying. Let me make sure I'm on the right page here. They are saying that Ronda Rousey should join. Someone said that Ronda Rousey should join the WWE. I don't. There's been a lot of talk about
Yeah,
Rousey in
we
the
talked about that
WWE.
last week.
I don't. And it was a big thing last week, and it's also a big thing this week, and they just keep talking about it. I do not think Ronda Rousey. Um, I think I may have said she. I think she should have last week, but now that I've thought about it, I don't think Ronda Rousey should go to WWE. I think Ronda Rousey. Um, hey, Tisha Miller, how you doing? Go ahead with just that. Oh,
I
wait a minute.
think
Before I go on, we got a live chat. Speaking of not moving your legs, Gordon Hayward just snapped his leg in the opening night. Cavs versus Celtics.
hmm,
Snapped his leg.
dang.
We're
I
gonna
wonder
get
who
we're
told
gonna get to that, Gabe.
I wonder who told him to break his leg.
We're gonna get to that, Gabe.
Break
Just
your
just
leg,
just hold.
Howard. Not really, but oh damn, you did it for real.
Back to Rousey. I don't think Rousey should join the WWE. I really don't. I think Rousey
I don't
need.
know.
Go ahead.
I think the gimmick will be strange because WWE superstars they all have their own little gimmick. They all have their own little character that they play all year. And
Yeah,
for a person of Ronda Rousey, everybody knows who she is. It it would be weird to see her in the ring playing somebody. It'd be weird seeing her play a character, and she can't play herself because not very many people are afraid of her anymore. She done got beat twice, bad.
yeah. She got beat pretty bad, especially the
I mean,
second time.
she got beat into retirement. That's
She did.
that's
I
something. So
think
it's
I think
like
Rousey. I think Rousey should lick her wounds. Bandage up her pride,
I think she should
and
just stick to acting. To be
no,
honest,
I think she should.
maybe make an appearance in the WWE once a year or something. Maybe
Dude,
stick to acting. I don't think she should
but
come back to the
but
octagon.
I put a lot I give a lot of hate to Ronda Rousey, and I don't I think I give a lot of hate to Ronda because I'm a Misha Tate fan. How I think that's exactly why, and I think the light bulb just went off in my head as to why I'm come so hard at Ronda Rousey, and I think it's because I'm a Misha Tate fan. But coming from Sports Scrutiny and not a Misha Tate fan, I think that Ronda Rousey, no matter what, even if she's been beat, she still has that skill set that took her to where she is. You know, she still has that same judo training, that same skill set that I think that she could still use, that could still be very effective.
Okay,
Um,
so ask yourself this: who put her into retirement?
Amanda Nunes.
Okay, and who's at the top?
Amanda Nunes.
Okay, so why would you come back to a division or come back to a fight when the person at the top put you into retirement? You think you're gonna beat that person? I mean, you saw the
We'll
fight.
see.
I saw the fight.
Would
It was pretty
yeah,
embarrassing.
it was
You think
embarrassing,
that
but
you think that her skill set has a chance at beating Amanda Nunes? What do you think she's gonna learn?
I think that Ronda Rousey needs different coaches. She has a string of bad coaches, and Edmund Taverdian is a very terrible coach, and he he had Ronda Rousey thinking that she could box, and it's going to take a whole lot longer than a year of boxing training and
Now, unless
lackluster. Go ahead.
I think unless Ronda Rousey has been in training camp these past few years, the past 2 years, I think if she comes back, it'll still be too far, too gone.
I don't think so,
I
man.
think ultimately Amanda Nunes would just wax the octagon with
If
Ronda
she
Rousey
came back, well,
again.
if Rousey came back, she wouldn't be fighting Amanda Nunes. She
No, but
wouldn't get a
ultimately she would be.
true. I mean, if Amanda can stay champion that long enough time for Rousey to make her way back up to the top,
Oh,
then
either way, she has to fight Amanda Nunes. Why would you come back and not fight the person that put you into retirement? That's just that's that's cutting corners.
it is. I see what you're saying. I see your side of the fence, Rob. I see exactly what you mean, but but I just believe that if Ronda Rousey had better coaches, if she had better coaches and a better training camp, and didn't try to come in there and box Amanda Nunes and stand up and fight Amanda Nunes,
So you
if she
think
would
that
have,
she would beat? You think she has a chance of beating Amanda Nunes?
if she was to get Amanda Nunes, if she was to find a way to get Amanda Nunes to the ground with that upper body takedown, like she is, which works, in that judo hip toss, which works so well for Ronda Rousey, I think that she could have beat Amanda Nunes. Even though Amanda Nunes is a judo fighter as well, she is trained in judo. We cannot forget that Amanda Nunes is she may not be an Olympic silver medalist, but she is trained in judo. So I believe that if she were to, I believe Ronda Rousey has better judo than
Yeah, I
uh,
agree. I agree, but
than Amanda Nunes.
think about it this way: there's a lot of fighters that are in that division right now that if they got that position on Amanda Nunes, they would beat her. So what makes Ronda Rousey so special?
Say that one more time. Say that question one more time.
There's a lot of girls in that division that if they got into that position, if they got Amanda Nunes in that position, they got her to the ground, they would beat her.
Yes,
So what makes Ronda Rousey so special? What makes her so different?
because
If
her
anybody
judo
can do
was
it, if anybody can do it, it would have been done, right?
what, beating Amanda Nunes.
Yeah.
Oh, she's been beat.
No, I know
Don't get
she's
me
been beat,
wrong.
but
She's been
I'm
beat.
not. I know she's been beat, but you're making it seem like Ronda Rousey, if she came back and figured out something special, she changed something and got herself into a special position, that then she would be able to beat her. But you make it seem like Amanda Nunes has never been in that position, that Ronda Rousey is the golden ticket. I'm trying to say that even if she does learn that, it's not going to make that big of a difference. Ultimately, I think Amanda Nunes still has her number, and she will ultimately still get beat. 'Cause
Okay, I believe that if I believe okay, live chat says Jeremy Hines says Rousey should fight straight grudge matches. Maybe another fight with Misha or Holly. Amanda will hurt her. I agree. Yes, Jeremy, that is exactly what I'm talking about, homie. Yes, I believe that Ronda Rousey hasn't been in any, like, the only dirty fights that you've seen Ronda Rousey in was Misha Tate. Misha Tate was like the only back and forth battle that you've seen Ronda Rousey in. All of her other fights, let's see, who did she fight? Sarah Kaufman, when she fought Sarah McMahon, when she fought Alexis Davis, when she fought Kat, especially when she fought Kat Zingano, she set the record for the fastest finish on Kat Zingano, which shocked the hell out of me. Excuse my language. The two finishes, the two arm bars on Misha Tate, those were, though, well, not Misha, not the fights with Misha Tate. Excuse me. The other fights besides Misha Tate were very fast, very quick fights. No one drug Ronda Rousey into deep waters like Misha Tate did. Misha drug Ronda in the waters, especially in the second fight. She drug Ronda in the waters that she's never been in before. So I believe that if Ronda was to come back, she needs some dirty, cringy. She needs some grudge matches. Exactly, Jeremy. Great word. She needs some grudge matches. She needs some 3-round fights. She needs some decisions. She needs something that's going to prepare her better to fight someone like Amanda Nunes. She wasn't prepared to fight Amanda Nunes. So that's why I think that some dirty fights lined up for her.
What do you mean she
Um,
wasn't prepared?
I don't think, because she's never fought anyone like Amanda Nunes. Like, she
Yeah, but
never
that doesn't mean
fought
she
some.
wasn't prepared. They
She
still had a
probably,
training camp.
but her training camp was garbage. I mean, Edmund Teredian
Yeah,
is
but
a.
they still had one.
They still had one,
Regardless whether it was
yes.
garbage or perfect, they still had one, so she
They
was
sh-
prepared.
she had one. Okay, all right, that's true. But I just
It's
think that
not
if
it's not
she,
it's not like it was a 3 week fight where she just stepped in for somebody. I mean, this
right,
was
she
a
had a whole year.
contract. This was
She had a whole
she had
year.
years, she had months and months to train for this fight. So she was prepared. It just so happened that the
She,
planning that was set for her did not work out. But
but
I'm
that's okay.
thinking
So what is? Go ahead. So
I'm
well, no, let
thinking
me let me say this. Let me say this. What would be your excuse to why Misha lost to Amanda? What would you say about Misha losing to her? Misha just came off of the hardest fight of her life against Holly. The hardest fight, the toughest person she's ever stepped in the cage with was Holly. And Misha came out with the win on Holly and got
it
plummeled
would
by
have to
Amanda Nunes.
it would be the same thing as why she couldn't beat Ronda Rousey. Strategy, strategy and skill. Like you said,
And
they're
that
both
leaves
judo. They're both what, judo fighters, right?
Amanda and Ronda are.
Yeah, exactly. Maybe that's Misha Tate's weakness.
Could be. Could
I
be.
mean,
And that leads me. Go ahead.
she beat the hell out of who I consider probably the best striker in the female division, Holly Holm. I mean,
Yeah, Misha did well.
she got kicks, and maybe that was just her weakness, the way that Misha Tate fought. I mean, you saw Holly Holm beat the hell out of Ronda Rousey, and then Misha Tate took the belt right off of her.
Took the belt straight clean from her, bro. And that leads me to the next fight is, do you think that these veterans that have kind of tapped out as kind of who that have kind of, a question that was asked to me, do I think that these veterans that have, you guys may hear me in past episodes talk about this, this new school, this new wave of women's MMA fighters, especially in the bantamweight division, coming in and kind of pushing out these old heads. Somebody asked me, do I think that these old heads should come back and make another run? And I really do believe they should. I believe that because GSP's doing it. GSP's doing it, and he's well into his 30s. These girls have tapped out at 30. You know what I'm saying?
This is my theory about the whole people coming out of retirement, people coming back. It's ultimately all leads to the money, but the big thing is basically these young guys, the new guys that are coming in, the guys with the early the small records, 7-0, 11-1,
Yeah,
all them
yeah.
people. They're not they're not connecting with the audience like the GSPs, you know. They're not connecting with they're not like the fan base isn't as sharp, and they're not as interested in seeing these young guys.
True.
So for the older people to come back, Misha Tate, GSP, like can't think of the guy's name right on the tip of my tongue. Short guy, curly hair.
Uriah Faber.
Yeah, like if he was to come around again, their fan base is huge. You know,
Huge.
they would
Huge.
they connected with the audience just on a whole nother level.
Hmm.
That they come back, it would just generate a bigger audience than some of these like say a Woodley fight.
Yeah. Right. Right.
He's a big deal, but
Hmm.
he's not generating as much pop or as much talk as some like GSP retired 3 4 years, but he all of a sudden wants to show up and the whole world's talking about him, and obviously it's pissing off Woodley. So that that theory is semi correct. So yeah, these big guys they should come back. It'd be good for the sport.
That's what I think, man. I think that. I mean, I really do think that if some of these guys, I mean, GSP, I wish him the best of luck, but I mean, I just don't think I don't think he's ready for the level of competition that's there now. But as far as like the women's, I believe that some of these girls, even to go back as far as Gina Carano, I mean, Cyborg retired Gina Carano in Strike Force, and Gina Carano had so much more fight in her, especially now with this new featherweight division coming in. That was Gina Carano's division. She was the featherweight queen before there was Cyborg. Before Cyborg, there was Gina Carano. And she got in there and almost knocked Cyborg out. I mean, if you go back and watch that fight, Gina Carano wasn't scared of Cyborg at all, and she didn't get gruesomely beat up like someone like the Lena Landsbergs and Leslie Smith. These girls got beat by Cyborg. Marlos Coonan, they got beat by Cyborg. Gina Carano didn't get beat. Tanya Evinger didn't get beat by Cyborg. But I really do think that if the Ronda Rouseys and the Misha Tates and the Gina Caranos and even the Marlos Coonan just retired out of Bellator um, a few months ago. I think that if they were to come back at it again, I think that it would be interesting to see these girls do that. And even with the guys, man, it'd be pretty interesting. Uriah Faber, definitely in this bantamweight division. The male bantamweight division. Uriah Faber was a scrappy fighter, and I would love to see a Uriah Faber Cody Garbrandt matchup.
You
I
know what
mean,
I'm
that would be
thinking? These
awesome.
people, everybody that has left, they want to come back. I think their first fight should be whoever beat them. Ronda
Ooh,
Rousey wants to come back to the octagon.
ooh,
She has to come
ooh,
back and fight Holly Holmes.
ooh. Whew.
Basically, that's your ticket back into the show. You beat who
That's
beat you.
interesting though. That's interesting. That's interesting. I like that because if you look at it from Misha Tate's point of view, she'd have to come back and fight Raquel Pennington because that was the last loss that Misha Tate. It wasn't a brutal loss. It was a
No, but
decision
a
loss.
loss is a loss.
A loss is a loss. It was a decision loss because Misha just and even Misha said it herself. Like when she got hit, I think she took some beating from Amanda Nunes. She said once she got hit the first time, like the very first time against Raquel Pennington, she said that she knew that very moment that she was done. She was like, "I'm done. Like I'm done getting hit in the face." But I think Misha's had enough time off now, and because there's been a lot of speculation as to
Yeah,
Misha
Misha's
had
done getting hit in
fights.
the face.
But Misha's got fights left on her contract though. So that's Misha's got fights left on her contract. So she's gonna either have to settle out, and she doesn't. I'm pretty sure because Misha never made the kind of money that Ronda Rousey made, which I think Misha should have made that kind of money. But Misha don't work. I mean, what she does, she's a commentator. I forgot about that. But Misha gonna miss that UFC. She gonna miss that fight money. Real quick with the live chat, there were less fighters then, so it was way easier to connect with them. I miss those days. Yeah, Jeremy, I miss those days too, bro. But now there's just a whole lot of fighters. You have your big name, your top tens in every division, and then you
I would
have
watch. I would watch a Ortiz Chuck Liddell rematch.
Tito
Those old men
Ortiz.
fighting.
Woo!
Yeah, those old
You
men
know, and
fighting.
see, there's another one. He's a recently retired fighter. Tito Ortiz with his nude pictures and all. But do you really honestly think that some of these people couldn't jump back into the ring and back into the octagon and put on performances? Absolutely, they could. What on? You think Misha couldn't get in there and put on, like let's say like a trilogy, Misha Rousey 3, Misha Ronda 3. Come on, that would be the biggest draw ever, But hey, that's just
I
my
think it would end the
opinion.
same as the first two.
So what?
I think it would end the same as the first two.
No, no. And we're not going to we'll save that for when Misha is on our show cuz hopefully we'll get Misha on here one day, you know. But we go, we're going to close out the MMA
She,
talk,
she,
guys.
she'll be on the show. She'll be sitting right here.
Nah, buddy. She'll be right here. She'll be right here, buddy. That's my woman, yo. But Rob's got some things for us, guys. Transitioning over to
Yeah, we're
what are
gonna
you gonna go
change
to
this.
next, Rob? MLB.
We're gonna no, we're gonna change the sport. We're gonna talk about the big NFL weekend that we had going.
Whoop whoop.
We're gonna start with Thursday night football was actually, I think, the most interesting Thursday night football this season. It was a fun game to watch. Thursday night football was a close battle between the Eagles and the Panthers. My boy Carson Wentz throws for 3 touchdowns as he leads his Eagles to a win, 28-23. Carson Wentz throws for 222 yards, and the Eagles are now number one in the NFC, sitting at 5-1. And then, oh boy,
Well, the
Jay
Panthers.
Cutler.
Well, the Panthers, real quick. Um, Luke. I don't know how to say Luke's last name. I've heard it
Luke
being said.
Kuechly.
Keek. Yeah,
Kuechly.
dude. He Vanderlei Silva versus Chuck Liddell. Oh boy, now that would bring the money, Jeremy. That would bring the money, bro. But Luke, how do you say it again?
Kuechly.
Keekley. Dude, he suffered a concussion, bro.
Yeah, he'll be all right. He's a tough guy.
Man, just that easy. Go ahead, man.
Yeah, he ain't soft like everybody else, breaking everything. But oh boy, Jay Cutler, he goes into Atlanta. He takes his team to Atlanta, and he tosses a pair of touchdowns. Miami rallies from down 17-0 at half. Miami wins 20-17 over the Atlanta Falcons. Jay runs for 130 yards on 26 carries. That was an interesting game. But it seems the boys over there in Atlanta, they know how to blow a lead, don't they? They're just blowing leads
Boy,
left and right.
jeez.
But let's see. We got Bears Ravens field goal with 2 minutes and 8 seconds left. In overtime, the Bears moved to 2-4 as they beat the Ravens in a close one, 27-24. And then Deshaun Watson over there in Houston shows up yet again and tosses 3 touchdowns, becoming the first rookie in NFL history with at least 3 touchdown passes in 3 straight games. I believe this is the Texans' bye week. So if he wants to extend that streak, which I don't think he will, I don't think he's going to throw for another 3 touchdowns in his next game. But he could extend that record, not this coming week, but the week after. And off of that topic, the Texans beat the Browns 33-17 in Houston, of course. And then we have
Yeah, but
here
he
the
was.
big.
Yeah, but he was sacked 4 times and
What's
one
wrong with
for
that?
safety.
That's okay.
I mean, he's not playing good football, bro. I mean, how you gonna be sacked 4 times and one for a safety, and one of those was a touchdown? I mean, come on, bro.
You want to know how?
Step it up, homie.
You want to know how? Because the score says 33-17. That's how. Oh yeah, you want to know else
Okay.
how? You want to know else how? He's
Wow.
not laying on his back with a broken collarbone. In this next, the
Oh
biggest
man.
news of the weekend was in Minnesota this past week. Aaron Rodgers breaks his collarbone early in the game as Green Bay loses to the Minnesota Vikings 23-10. Yeah,
Yeah, he did
that's a
that,
heart
man.
that's a heartbreaker over there in Green Bay.
And he may miss the
That's
rest of the season. That's the
that's a
biggest thing. He might be out
dagger.
for the rest of the season, bro.
I'm thinking maybe if they make the playoffs, maybe he'll be there.
But the thing about Aaron Rodgers though, like he recovers, he recovers so quickly, dude.
Hey,
Like
at least we know he has good insurance.
discount double check.
But
But on the flip side of that, on the flip side of him breaking his collarbone, and I know it's a lot of it's a dark cloud kind of over Green Bay right now. Brett Hundley is coming up. He's stepping up for Rodgers. Um,
yeah, stepping up and throwing 3 picks.
but that hey, he didn't know that was going to happen that game. I mean, now he's actually out there practicing. He's getting himself together. He's getting past the shock of just being thrown into a game. I mean, imagine put yourself in Hundley's shoes. You know, you practice all week, you go out here, you get ready, and then your starting quarterback gets hurt. He's like, "What? Wait, a minute, wait, what?" You know, which,
Yeah, but
but
they
he
practice
can
for that.
turn but he can turn all of that. He can turn all. I'm sure there's some, and he said that there was some nerves in there as well. You know, he that was so unexpected. You know,
Of
but
course,
he
it's
can take.
unexpected, but they practice for that, man. They
They
practice
practice
for that.
for it, but he can take all that, all those nerves. He can focus all his energy, and this could be his. This could be his thing, man. This could be his time to step up and shine. You know, but
I'm
then I
thinking,
heard, but but then I heard on top of that with the Green Bay Packers is that the Packers are maybe considering hiring Tony Romo or Colin Kaepernick for the rest of the season.
I think they need to get to Colin Kaepernick.
If they were to get Colin, yeah, but of course Colin Kaepernick would never take Aaron Rodgers' place. I mean, as soon as Aaron Rodgers gets better,
No, I'm
by
thinking
Kaepernick.
Colin Kaepernick needs to come back because a player like Tony Romo wouldn't be able to survive behind that offensive line. That's
No, he
why
wouldn't be.
a
No,
person like Aaron Rodgers was so successful because he was mobile. And Colin Kaepernick, he's not
I
as
agree.
he's a little bit more mobile than Aaron Rodgers, and he's obviously not as good of a player. He can't throw on the run like him. He can't make the plays, but the fact that he does have legs on him, I think, would
Hmm.
benefit the Green Bay Packers more than said Tony Romo.
Okay. All right. All right. Well, I just wanted to throw that out there, man.
You
See
know what? I
what
don't want
you
to hear no excuses about Hundley. He's making more money. He making more money than me. You
He's
better be
making more
ready.
money than me too,
You
man.
better be ready. I don't want to hear
And
no
dude,
excuses. Nerves? What nerves?
but Anthony Barr landed a whoo, that hit he landed on Aaron Rodgers though, man, in the first quarter.
Yeah,
Jeez,
yeah.
God, that was
I
whoo.
don't see it as a dirty hit either. A lot of people say it was
I
a
don't
dirty
see it
hit.
in
I don't
the.
see it.
It
I
was dirty,
saw.
man. Come on now,
I thought it was clean.
it was dirty, bro.
I don't think it
It was
was.
dirty, man. It was dirty.
I don't think it was.
But I don't think it was dirty. I think they let it slide because of the hits that players like let's see, Cam Newton. Cam Newton's been hit like that many times, you know, and
Yeah, but
and
Cam
you
Newton,
know
the reason he gets hit like that is because he puts himself in those
he
positions.
puts himself in those positions. That
He
is true.
he he wants to drop the shoulder and hit people, and the refs
Yeah,
notice
yeah.
that. So when he gets hit, it's just like when Michael Vick used to run. He used
Hmm.
to. They don't see them as a that's a bad hit because they're mobile. They don't know exactly what's going through their head. It's not like a Tom Brady where Tom Brady he could fall to the ground and
Hmm.
somebody land on him, they'll get a flag
Right, right,
because
right.
it's just what the refs are used to what they're seeing. It's just used to what they adapt what they see basically. But I don't think
Mr.
that was a dirty hit.
Tisha Miller in our live chat says mud dirty. Yeah, it was a dirty hit, man. It was
I
a
don't think it
dirty
was
hit,
dirty.
Tisha. I
It wasn't
agree.
dirty. It wasn't dirty. You
But
only agree because you a
guys, keep
fanboy.
the live chat rolling, guys. Keep the live chat rolling. That's
You're
how
just a
we.
fanboy.
I like the way you snuck that in there, Rob. Good one. But guys, keep the live chat
I'm gonna
rolling.
move on. Forget about Green Bay, man. They're done for the season. Anyways, we're gonna talk about the New Orleans Saints. The New Orleans Saints defense fueled their wild and crazy victory, 52-38 over the Lions. Matthew Stafford throws for 312 yards, 3 touchdowns, but also threw 3 interceptions, which that's why the Saints they blew up and went and scored 52 points. But Drew Brees he threw for 186, 2 touchdowns, 2 interceptions. I'm surprised that with those 2 interceptions. Lions didn't capitalize on it, but Mark Ingram rushed for 114 on 25 carries. That also helped the Saints offense. That was interesting. And then also the second biggest news, in my opinion, and that's just my opinion, Tom Brady sets the single season wins record as a quarterback, as now he holds almost all the important stats that belong to a quarterback. I mean, other than the single season touchdowns and yards that Peyton Manning just said a couple years ago. But the Patriots move into first place in the NFC East. The Patriots beat the Jets 24-17. But I was thinking the same thing. Everybody's talking everything, Tom Brady doing everything, but the dude is the GOAT, and it's just annoying.
Fanboy.
I hate Boston. What you talking about?
Fanboy.
The hell are you talking about? I hate Boston.
Nah.
I hate Massachusetts. He's a Red Sox fan, and the Red Sox suck.
Ooh wee.
But moving
We
on.
getting a little biased now. We getting a little biased.
I don't care, biased or not. Red Sox suck. Anyways, we're moving on to 49ers. 49ers remain winless for the sixth week. Kirk Cousins struggles against the 49ers as the Redskins still win, though. They still win a close one. It came down to the end, but Washington takes it 26 and San Francisco 24. But still, the 49ers are winless. They are 0-6.
Now they're the only team left
Now the Browns are
that's
still
winless, right?
I think the
Oh,
Browns.
the Browns. Okay.
Yeah, the Browns.
Okay. Giants got to win. The Giants finally got to win.
Yeah, bro. I'm getting to that.
Jeez.
That was real exciting. Anyways, so one of the trades that I think I talked about it last week. Or maybe it didn't happen yet. Maybe it happened after our show. But the Cardinals made a trade with the New Orleans Saints, and the Cardinals acquired Adrian Peterson. And Adrian Peterson started this past weekend, and you remember look at it this way: in 4 starts with the New Orleans Saints, or actually it was 3 starts and 1 game where he just came in like I think third quarter or something.
Right.
But we'll say 4 games with the New Orleans Saints. Adrian Peterson had like 82 yards or something. Okay, and Adrian Peterson starts for the Cardinals this past week and rushes for 134 yards and 2 touchdowns. Huge. What a comeback. I mean, the New Orleans Saints didn't even know what they had.
No, they didn't.
They just let it go. I mean, did you forget who this guy was? He ripped his whole knee apart, blew it to pieces, and came back in 7 months and almost broke the record. You just don't know.
Right.
Anyways,
exactly.
He rushed for 134 yards, 2 touchdowns. Jameis Winston goes down, injured. Man, you ruined it for my fantasy team. But anyways, Jameis Winston goes down. He's injured, and Tampa Bay struggles, but they came back.
They came back, bro. I watched that game.
They didn't come back enough, and the Cardinals beat the Buccaneers 38-33. And then we got here the LA Rams. Their high-scoring offense had some help from their special teams. The opening kickoff return for a touchdown, and then they had another kickoff return for a touchdown. So they had 2 kick return touchdowns, and the LA Rams overcome the Jacksonville Jaguars 27-17. But if you take away those 2 touchdowns, they wouldn't have won.
A win is a win, like you say.
Yeah, win. Yeah, I know. I'm just saying.
A win is a win, bro.
I know it's a win. I'm not a fan of either one of those teams. I don't like either one of them. Anyways, we got the Kansas City Chiefs are no longer undefeated. They were the last undefeated team as the Pittsburgh Steelers outlast the Chiefs in a close one. Came down to the last few plays. The Steelers beat the Chiefs 19-13. Pittsburgh held Kareem Hunt, the NFL rushing leader. I forgot to check if he was still the NFL rushing leader. after this week. He held him to just for 21 yards or 21 rushing yards, even though he had 90 yards receiving. But Bell and Brown for the Pittsburgh Steelers, they tore up the field. They basically just made that field whatever they wanted to do. As Le'Veon Bell, he rushed for 179 yards. And Antonio Brown, he had 155 yards receiving on only 8 catches. Those two just they blew up.
But did you see Big Ben's his after game interview, bro? Like me and my dad was catching that, man. What is up? Real quick, I don't mean to interrupt you, Rob, but what in the heck is up with these post game interviews where the woman, or whoever it is, Karen Bryant, or not Karen Bryant, whatever her name is, that does is asking them specific questions about what they did. Why do they always revert it back to the team? I don't understand that. Take credit for what you did, because sometimes it's not the team. Sometimes it's that specific person.
Well, because it's easier to put the blame. It's easier to either put the blame or put the credit on a group of 11 people than taking it for yourself. Also, in a win
Yeah.
like that, it's better to give credit to the team than it is to take credit for yourself. I mean,
But that Big Ben, that was a sloppy win. I'm sorry, Big Ben, that was a sloppy win. It was a win
all the Big Ben's performances are sloppy. That's just the way he
yeah,
rolls.
yeah,
That's
it
just how he
is.
does it.
That
But you know
is.
what? That's just Pittsburgh Steeler football. I don't know what they're gonna do
Yep.
when he leaves. I really don't. But the LA Chargers, they get their second win of the season, and a real nail biter came down to the final play field goal as LA beats Oakland 17-16. That was tough. I mean, Oakland fought hard for that win, and they lost it in the final play field goal.
Hmm.
And then, as BJ mentioned before, the New York Giants finally get a win this season. They stun the Denver Broncos,
Yep,
23
they
to 10.
did. They did.
Not
They
only that,
did.
but New York was down 4. I want you to remember that number. 4 starting wide receivers. 4. It's
Yeah.
almost like Eli Manning just was like, okay, ticket number 14,000, ticket number 20,000, ticket number 8,000, ticket number 3,000. I want all those audience members to come down and put a uniform on and just play wide receiver for me because I don't have anybody. But Eli Manning was down 4 wide receivers and it didn't seem to bother him. Now, why is it that when Eli Manning has nothing, he can perform? But like the past few weeks, I mean, Odell wasn't there all the time, and Brandon Marshall wasn't there all the time. But
Okay.
when he had all those tools,
He didn't use them
what the hell were you doing?
because he's a scared player. He's a scared quarterback, bro. You can see it in the eyes. They never lie. That man is the. I'm not gonna get into Eli Manning, but
Oh
he's
yeah,
the
Eli man,
scaredest
we ain't gonna
quarterback.
get into that. We ain't gonna get into
He's
that.
the scaredest quarterback.
We ain't gonna get it. We all
Period.
know that. We all know that when Peyton Manning's in the room, Eli Manning's nowhere to be found because he's hidden in Peyton Manning's shadow somewhere. Speaking of Peyton Manning, the
Uh-oh.
Indianapolis Colts have beaten the Titans 11 times, okay? 11 times. But not last night. No. The
Nope.
Titans finally break that streak and beat the Colts
Yes, they
36 to
did.
22. Derrick Henry of the Titans rushed for 131 yards on 19 carries. That was a spectacular performance and a great game to watch actually for a Monday night game. That was a good one. I liked it a lot. And that's
Yep.
all
Good game.
for the scores. I would have to say Tom Brady setting that record. I mean, it was inevitable. I knew it was going to happen. I think that's probably the main reason he came back was just so he could break that record. He'll probably retire, win or lose. He's going to retire now that he holds all the goddamn records. Excuse my language, but I'm sick of hearing that old man with his supermodel wife and all them damn rings and psh, perfect kids
Well,
and perfect hair and perfect house and perfect throwing arm.
Perfect wife.
Yeah, I'll take that wife. Yeah, I'll
Oh
take him
yeah.
off. Yeah.
Oh yeah. Well, we a couple of before, so we're gonna move into our power rankings for this week, right?
Oh, now we're gonna take a minute and we're gonna bow our heads as the New York Yankees won tonight. They came back and we're just gonna take a minute to praise them for their victory in the ALCS. I'm just kidding. We ain't gonna praise them because they lost. They lost the first two games in Houston. Bums. But anyways, we're gonna get into the MLB news. The ALCS, the American League Championship Series, is the Yankees versus the Astros. The last Wednesday, the Yankees beat the Cleveland Indians, who, in my opinion, were the best team in the AL, which now makes the Yankees the best team in the AL. Because to be the
Uh oh.
best, you got to beat the best. So, anyways, the Yankees are playing the Astros, and the first two games are in Houston, and they lost the first two games in Houston, but they made a statement in their game in New York in Game 3, and they won 8-1. And then they played earlier tonight, um, and they won 6-3, I believe. I didn't even write down the score. I'm a dummy. All I know is that they won. And then we have the NLCS. The Dodgers, they're up on the Cubs 2-0 right now. Last Wednesday, the Cubs beat the Washington Nationals to move into the National League Championship Series. That was a close one. I really thought the Nationals were going to pull through, but obviously they choked again. Washington cannot make it through a playoffs worth their life in any other dang sports, basketball, hockey, and the NFL. They all choke everywhere. A bunch of choke artists and just all across everywhere. And then the Dodgers bullpen, believe it or not. Now, I was reading this. I read this morning. I wrote it down. I don't know what I did with the piece of paper, so I just went off of memory because I couldn't find it again. But the Dodgers bullpen have not allowed even a hit. Now, the bullpen, BJ, is everybody basically after the starting pitcher.
School me, school me, school me.
Like, okay, baseball, you have a starting pitcher, and when he leaves the game, it's the bullpen, meaning it's relievers, it's closers, it could be anybody, but it's basically you just call it the bullpen to sum it up because it could be any person. There's so many people that it could be. You could bring in a lefty to face the lefties, and then he could pitch up against one guy, and then the manager will take him out and bring in somebody else to face another guy. And if the manager doesn't like him, he'll take him out and bring in another guy. But basically, you just sum it up. You call it the bullpen, and the Dodgers bullpen have not allowed even a single hit in 24 out of 25 at bats. Think about that. That's incredible for a
It's
collective
impressive.
group, a collective bullpen. And LA is just rolling over Chicago. And last year, when Chicago beat the LA Dodgers, um, the Dodgers bullpen allowed 18 runs and I believe 31 hits. That was a huge reason why the Cubs beat the Dodgers last year to make it to the World Series. So it's gonna be kind of tough for the Cubs to come back when you scored 18 runs last year and you ain't even hitting the ball this year. I really don't care because it don't matter as long as the Yankees are going to the World Series and gonna win. But
Bias.
I don't even know what that word means. We're gonna move on. Um, we're gonna talk about a little bit of this. This probably be my favorite sport, the men's tennis history. It wasn't really history, but it's a little bit of tennis history. October 15th was Sunday. Was the Shanghai Rolex Masters final. And in that final was Roger Federer versus Rafael Nadal. This was their 38th meeting of their career. Federer continues to get the best of Nadal Sunday as he wins 6-4, 6-3. Easy win for Federer, making it his fifth straight win over Nadal. Um,
Ouch.
and I don't know. Nadal he's just I mean, he's number one. They're both number one and number two. Nadal's number one in tennis rankings, and he's got a sizable lead on Federer, but he just cannot seem to beat him. But basically,
He's got
we
his
get
number.
to the champion. If we get the championship, if it's gonna be Federer and Nadal, man, I'm not looking. Things aren't looking good for that Spaniard over there. But
Uh-oh.
that's it for the MLB. Everybody cheer for the Yankees and boo the Astros. Everybody cheer for the Yankees. Don't worry about it. There is no other team. BJ's gonna take the mic away from me. He's gonna get into his top 10 quarterbacks going into week 7.
It's actually top 10 teams slash quarterbacks. Um, that's pretty good actually. I'm gonna give him a chance. Just because last time Rodgers was hurt, the uh, the backup quarterback came in and did pretty good, even though it's not the same guy. Um, I can't remember who was it last time when Rodgers was hurt and out that came in and took over and did decently well. I can't remember who it was.
I don't know.
Do you remember who it was? Anyways, number 10 for this week, I'm going to come in with Brett Hundley. He's not afraid to step up in the shoes of Aaron Rodgers. Like I said, lots of pressure on his shoulders, guys. What's up, Brian? Our live chat's popping. Bathos is in the building. What's up, man? He's not, like I said, he's not afraid of the pressure. I think he's ready for it. I think he's well prepared for it. Um, he can't help but do well, man. I mean, he can't help but do well. He has the skill set. He's coming fresh out of UCLA in college and put on some amazing performances at UCLA. And I don't really watch college football that much, but I remember whenever I did watch it, just a little bit every now and then, Brett Hundley did very well for UCLA. Um, Number 9, I'm going to come in with Trevor Simeon for the Broncos. He threw for 300 yards last week. A couple of offensive issues during the game against the Giants, but I think they'll pull it together this week. Let's see. That was number 9. Number 8, I'm going to go to the New Orleans Saints and Drew Brees. Okay, he's on a three game winning streak, beating the Lions 52-38. That was a high scoring game, man. We didn't talk about that. That was a high scoring game. That was pretty
Yeah, we
good
did.
for
We
Drew
talked about
Brees.
it. That was their defense did most of their scoring.
Yeah,
I think they
yeah,
had like
yeah. So that was
I think they had 21 defensive points.
that's pretty good, man. That's pretty awesome. I mean, to get those, I mean, that's a high. Like I said, dude, they were. I mean, the
Yeah,
Packers. I
it
mean,
was 52-38. That was a big game.
the Lions were nowhere near them. They'll be playing Green Bay this week. And actually, I'm predicting a win there against Green Bay. So that's my prediction, guys, on that. I hate to say, as much as I hate to say that, you know what I'm saying, but I'm predicting a win against the Giants. I mean, against the Packers. I think Brett Hundley needs just a little bit more time to perfect himself and get himself in there. He needs a couple of games under his belt. But I think he'll do well with the Packers for the time being until they figure something out. Or, maybe they won't have to figure something out. Maybe he'll be that guy that comes in there and does what he's supposed to
He
do.
won't be that guy.
Um, he won't be. Okay. Number 7 goes to the Falcons and Julio Jones. Okay. With a loss, even though he lost to Miami 2017,
Julio
I
Jones.
think that. So what?
Julio Jones? You
Yeah.
mean Matt Ryan?
Yeah, Matt Ryan. My bad. I'm sorry, homie. Wait a minute. I must have wrote. I wrote down the wrong thing. My bad. Matt Ryan. My bad, homie. Um, they lost to Miami, but I still think that they'll come through and have a good week. The player to watch though would definitely be Marvin Hall. Um, he's playing pretty. He's showing some pretty impressive games, putting up some pretty good stats. I'm not going to go into all that, but we'll see. We'll check that out. Number 6, I'm going to go with Cincinnati. Okay, I had to change my number 6 because I had to change my number 6. That's all. Number 5, I'm going to go to Tom Brady and the Patriots. They fall 2 spots from my last week power rankings, from number 3. The defense, even though a lot of that team is dependent on Tom Brady, um, but the defense just doesn't have any confidence, man. They don't have any confidence, bro. And they're playing, and it shows that they don't have much confidence.
It's not like Green Bay, and
So what?
it's not like Green Bay. Those teams are built sort of the same. They rely a lot
You
on
guys
their.
hear this, right? You guys hear how I'm sitting here trying to do my top 10 power rankings, and this guy keeps throwing shots at the Green Bay Packers. Yo, do you
No,
guys
no
hear? I mean,
shots.
do you guys really hear that?
I just compared Aaron Rodgers to Tom Brady, and you think I'm taking shots? Okay.
I'm not. No, I was talking about you were talking about the defense, but I'm not
The
gonna let
defense
that.
is
I'm not
low.
gonna let.
It's how
I'm not
about
gonna let that
okay?
phase me.
How is the defense not good when Aaron Rodgers has all those fourth quarter comebacks? If the defense was so good, he wouldn't have all those fourth quarter comebacks. He wouldn't need to come back in the fourth quarter.
You hear this? I might see. I might. You hear this guy? I'm not even taking
I am
shots
the
at his team.
voice. I am the voice of reason.
He killing me. He killing me. All right. Number 4, Seattle Seahawks. Russell Wilson up 2 spots from last week from number 6. So, what I think they need to do that'll shoot them up to the top 3 at least in my power rankings was they need to run Eddie Lacy a little bit more, because Eddie Lacy, he didn't do so well his last season with the Packers because he put on a little bit of weight, and so he wasn't as his agility wasn't on point. He got a little chubby. There's nothing wrong with being chubby, by the way. But when it comes to when you're running, or when you're running the ball, you're gonna have to shed some
What are you talking
pounds there.
about? You wrote about Jerome Bettis. He was
So
fat for a
what?
good 4 years, and he was still a beast.
He was a beast, but the thing is, but see, Jerome Bettis was a beast with power. Like he when he got
Yeah.
chubby,
So,
he still had that. When he was chubby, he still had the power. So he
so
was
you're
more
saying
like
Eddie
a.
Lacy weak, aren't you? You're
No,
saying
that's not
Eddie
what I'm
Lacy
saying.
weak. That's what
I
you
think
just said. That's what you
no,
just said.
no,
You just said
no.
Eddie Lacy. He ain't got no
when Eddie
power.
Lacy when Eddie Lacy is in shape, he has the speed and the
I know.
power.
I know what
You
you.
know what
I
I'm
know what you.
saying? But I think that
He's doing really good right now. I think yeah, you're right. He probably got to
but I just think
put
Eddie
on
Lacy I think the extra weight took away from his cardio a little bit. So, I think that he's in a little bit better shape now. And I think that if they run him a little bit more, he'll get that confidence back that he had. Number 3 is going to be the Indianapolis Colts. Indianapolis Colts, baby, coming in at number 3, and they weren't even on my power rankings last week. So
yeah, that's where they
congratulations to
belong.
the Colts making the top 3. Number 2 will be Cam Newton and the Patriots, up 2 spots from last week from number 4 to
Panthers.
number 2. So what?
Panthers. You call them the
Up from two
Patriots.
spots. They're gonna do well this week, bro. You'll see. They're gonna do super well this week. All right. Um, besides the Luke, whatever his name is, the concussion, I hope that they'll be able to, that won't affect them too much. This is coming once again from an unbiased person. I guess I'm the more unbiased side of Sports Scrutiny Live, guys. So just keep that in
Yeah,
mind.
right. You only unbiased now because Aaron Rodgers is done for the season.
Oh man.
Otherwise, you would have him straight on number one on all your lists, no matter what was happening. I'm surprised he ain't on your list now, sitting in the hospital bed.
Okay, man. I see how it is. I see how this thing just he killing me today, man. He's killing me today. But I can't argue with him because he's
That's
right.
probably what you did. That's probably what you did. You said it got to change number 6, and that's probably where you had Aaron Rodgers number 6,
No,
and you were like, "No, I
no,
can't do this.
bro.
He give me so much crap." Aaron Rodgers is sitting in a wheelchair or in a hospital bed or something with a cast on his arm,
Oh
and you
no.
said, "Oh nope, can't put him at number 6." Dang, gotta change it.
Okay.
Who you got number 2?
Just roasting me. Number 2 was the Panthers, bro.
Oh yeah, who's got number 1?
Where you been? You too busy roasting me over here. My number 1 is I bet you our number ones are the
Carson
same.
Wentz. If it ain't Carson Wentz, then your lists don't even
Nope.
count.
Nope. Nope. My number one is the Kansas City Chiefs.
How do you not have Carson Wentz on that list?
Man, look, man.
He's the
This is
hottest
my top
quarterback in the
10.
league right now,
This is
bro.
my top 10.
You got
This is
the
my
Indianapolis
top 10.
Colts there, but you don't have Carson
This
Wentz
is
and the
my
Eagles.
top 10.
Eagles are number one in the NFC.
This is my top 10. This is for this week. Don't forget, this is power rankings for this week.
Yeah, I know. It's okay. Now, sports scrutiny. Let me get into the
No, I'm not
real
finished. I'm
top
not
10.
finished. I'm not
You're
finished.
finished. You're finished.
Wait a minute. He's up 4 spots. Alex Smith took first loss, but it was too tight to still not be number one. It was too tight of a loss to not be number one. And I think the question is surrounding them is, will Tyreek Hill be ready in time for the Raiders? Because the Raiders are smelling that Chief blood, bro. They smelling that Chief blood this week. So do you think Tyreek Hill will be ready in time for the Raiders?
I think Tyreek Hill is a little bit. There's a lot of weapons on that team that I don't think they need Tyreek.
Okay, good answer. We're
That's
right
that.
before
That's
you
that.
get into your power rankings. Our live chat is booming right now.
Okay.
Uh, we're gonna revert just a little bit right back to the Cubs. Brian, uh, our unofficial manager here at Sports Scrutiny. He
Yes.
said the Cubs are looking horrible. They need a miracle.
Yeah. I'm surprised. Yeah, like I said, I'm surprised they beat the Nationals. Really am.
Yeah, man.
I mean, they didn't even play too great in that series, in my opinion. But they still, the Nationals, they just choked because they're Washington.
Choked on all that rain up there, man. That's what they did.
You
But
know
let's
what?
hear. I'm gonna hear your top 10. That's what I'm ready for.
Yeah,
Let's
I'm
go.
gonna.
Since you
This is
dogged
okay.
my
I
top
just
10.
want to. I just want to let everybody know this is Sports Scrutiny Live, and this is the Sports
Uh
Scrutiny
oh.
Live official top 10. Don't worry about what BJ just said. That is just a.
Oh
That's just for
boy.
fun. I just let him do that for fun. Give him a
Uh
little. I
oh.
give him something to do. I'm
Okay.
just kidding. I'm
Okay.
just kidding.
All
No, I'm
right.
just kidding. That was official. I respect. I respect. 4 of your top 10. Anyways,
Oh, 40%.
anyways,
Okay.
anyways. Number 10. Even after a
Dun, dun,
loss,
dun.
I got the Jacksonville Jaguars. They're sitting at 3-3. They actually lost. They dropped 2 spots. I think I had them 8 last week. But sitting at 3-3, they're still tied for first in the NFC South, which is actually pretty incredible. And next week they're at the Colts, which um, should still keep them in first place. I think they'll actually beat the Colts in Indianapolis. And with just they only have one game on the remaining schedule with a team that's over 500. The road ahead for Jacksonville Jaguars seems pretty easy. So uh, we coming after this week, I think that they're gonna be set. I think they got a good solid team over there. And then okay, coming at number 9, we got the Dallas Cowboys. Yeah, and the only reason they're at number 9 is, I mean, the Dallas Cowboys, they are 2-3, which is it's an ugly record, especially for a top 10. But they weren't on my list last week at all. But they'll be facing the winless 49ers next week, which is
They're gonna lose.
the only reason I put them on this list is because they're facing the 49ers, and that's basically it. That's the only reason.
They're gonna lose.
I don't have much. I don't really have good things to say about the Cowboys. They're not playing great. Um, some could say that they could be, could be 4-1, maybe. People could say that, but I disagree. They're 2-3, and the only reason they're on this top 10 is because they're facing one of the teams that can't even get a win. And then number 8, the L.A. Rams. They're 4-2. They weren't on my list last week at all, but they're going to be hosting the Cardinals this coming week, which is it shows their chance again to see that high scoring offense that we saw early in the season. I'm hoping that they show themselves, especially since I put them at number 8. But they've actually kind of lacked in their their offense the past 2 weeks compared to what we used to see, what we're used to seeing from earlier in the season. But number 7, I got the Seattle Seahawks sitting at 3-1. They were sixth in my power rankings last week. The official football power index has the Seahawks favored in all the remaining games except two, and I didn't see what game. I didn't look and see what matchups those were. But they're going to be going to face the 1-5 Giants, which is why I have them at number 7. Um,
Mm-hmm.
I think it's a sure win. I don't think the Giants are going to be able to do much. I mean, yeah, they beat the Broncos, but I don't think Eli is going to be able to do that type of business again. Not against the Seahawks, especially with the coaching there. I
Eli
think
ain't doing nothing. Eli
I
ain't
think that
doing nothing.
the Seahawks
God,
staff is they're gonna watch that game and they're not gonna allow any of whatever New York did to Denver happen to Seattle.
I'm sorry,
It's,
Tisha Miller, but Eli
it's
ain't
just not
doing
gonna happen.
nothing. He ain't
Eli
doing
who?
nothing.
Eli who?
Tisha Miller in the live chat, she's a Giants fan. They ain't doing nothing.
Eli who? So
Exactly.
we got here. What number was I on? Oh,
Uh
6.
oh. Somebody said, Brian said, I hope Watson is somewhere on your list.
Anyways, number 6, the New Orleans Saints. The New Orleans Saints are sitting at 3-2, and they were not on my list last week. But having won 3 of their last three games in a row, and they'll be facing Green Bay as BJ talked about next week. I think they're favored to win. So after that defensive blowout, basically against the Detroit Lions, I think the New Orleans Saints not being on my list last week, they deserve to be on my list this week, and they're as high as 6. And number 5, I got the Pittsburgh Steelers. They're sitting at 4-2. They weren't on my list last week. They were on my list the week before last, but not last week. The Pittsburgh Steelers 4-2. A win over the last undefeated team, the Chiefs, is a little bit of the reason why I put them back on the list. They really haven't been performing too hot. I mean, they had a Bell and Brown. They had their blowout game against the Chiefs, and yeah, that's tough. But I mean, the Chiefs' defense isn't the best. I mean, the Chiefs were always known for making plays on offense.
Mm-hmm.
They weren't the best defense. So for that type of thing to say, oh, Bell and Brown, they did all the work against an undefeated team. It's not a lot considering the Chiefs didn't have the best defense. Also, they they're going to be playing at home against the Bengals this coming week, so I favor the Steelers in that matchup, which is why I have them at number 5. And then number 4, I have the New England Patriots. They're sitting at 4-2. They moved up 5 spots from my last week's power rankings. They had a bit of a struggle against their division rival, the New York Jets, but that's a common occurrence. Even when the Patriots were dominant, they were the head team. Even last year, they struggled against the Jets. They always struggled against the Jets. They usually one game
Why
they'll
is that?
struggle.
Why do you think they do that?
It's just a division thing. It's the same reason as if like the Ravens and the Steelers. The Steelers will have a bomb team, a great team, but they'll struggle against a crappy Ravens team. It's just a
Right.
division thing. It's the fact that you have to play the team twice.
Mm-hmm.
So maybe it's a planning thing. You plan
Mm-hmm.
one way, and then the team they pick up on it real quick, and then there's no way
Right.
to revert what you plan. But then you see them again, you blow them out 42-0 or some
Right.
nonsense like that. So that's I predict that. Also, um, they're going to be at home the next 2 weeks before their bye week, and next week is going to be the game of the week. Sunday night is going to be the Super Bowl rematch, and that's the game of the week. So everybody next Sunday, I believe at 8:10, it's going to be the New England Patriots versus the Atlanta Falcons, and we're going to see the Falcons go up 25 points again and then blow that lead, and that's going to be fun to watch. But I have the New England Patriots sitting at number 4, my power rankings, and then number 3. This is our lists are pretty close. Number 3, the Carolina Panthers sitting at 4-2. They moved up one spot from last week. Their next two
Okay.
games are on the road. which actually favors them
It does. It
because
does.
because
I noticed that.
they are 2-0 on the road, having beat the likes of Tom Brady in Foxborough and Matthew Stafford in Detroit. So I predict I have the Carolina Panthers so high on my list because they've beat Tom Brady on the road and Matthew Stafford. So even though they're going on the
Hmm.
road the next two games, I think they'll win this week and the following week. That's why I have them at number
I
three.
think so too.
But number two, I have the Philadelphia Eagles sitting at 5-1, number one in the NFC. They moved up one spot from my power rankings last week, having won 3 games on the road this season, and the next 3 games at home, where they are 2-0. They're 2-0 at home this season, and over the past 2 years, they're 8-2 at home. That's a pretty good record to have over the past 2 years at
Hmm.
home. So the Philadelphia Eagles, I got them sitting at number two, and then of course number one, they hasn't changed since week one. I got the Kansas City Chiefs, even though they lost to the Steelers. Honestly, I think that was a fluke. I don't think the Steelers will have that big of a performance again this season. I don't think the Steelers are gonna. They're not gonna. They're not gonna. They're not the same level as the Kansas City Chiefs. I don't think. I think it was just a. It was just a loss that I think honestly the Kansas City Chiefs needed this loss. So they're for the Kansas City Chiefs. They're 5-1 right now. They didn't move. They're still number one. I think they needed this loss. They needed this loss, and it'll just show them their
So they can
mistakes,
refocus.
and they're
Yeah,
gonna bounce
refocus.
back even bigger.
Hmm.
Honestly,
I agree.
it's like the Patriots effect. And the Patriots were 16-0. They didn't know what a loss felt like. They went into the Super Bowl thinking, "Oh, we're Superman. You know, we can't be beat." And then they get stomped
Hmm.
by, I think the Giants defense was ranked 3 that year. So honestly, I think this it's good to get a loss in. You know, I don't think you want to be undefeated too long because you forget what losing feels like. And
Exactly. And then when you take that
losing,
blow, and then when they take that blow, they don't know how to come back from it, especially when you
yeah,
go so long undefeated.
yeah, like losing always hurts more than how good of a feeling winning is.
Hmm.
So I
I agree
think
with that, Rob. Good statement.
they'll bounce back bigger and faster than the first 5 games of the season, and they're actually going to be on the road the next 3 weeks. So we'll see how that goes. I mean, the next 3 weeks are going to be they're going to be away from Kansas City, so we're going to be able to see how they perform away from Arrowhead. But that's my top 10, and I still can't believe you didn't have Carson
Right.
Wentz on your list.
Well, if looking at the live chat, Brian says y'all sleeping on my boy Watson. No, I'm
No,
actually not sleeping
no,
on Watson. Put I was debating on whether in my number 4 spot whether to put Russell Wilson or Deshaun Watson there. So it was kind of a toss up between the two. Um, so I didn't. It was a big debate. So Deshaun Watson almost made it on, but I just went ahead and went with Russell Wilson because um, I mean they put on a good.
the biggest reason I didn't put Deshaun Watson on my list is because he played the Browns and it was a bit of a struggle for him. I mean, yeah, he had his 3 touchdowns, but as BJ said, he got sacked 4 times and once was for a safety. So, I mean, it's the Browns. They're playing terrible. They don't have the best defense. So for him to struggle that hard against crappy team is why that team is not on my list. Plus that defense without JJ Watt, I don't know how they're going to be and it's their bye week. So I don't know what they're going to do without JJ Watt. I mean, yeah, they still have some team captains over there. I think they have Jonathan Joseph that he'd take the reins, but I don't know. It's a bye week. We're gonna have to see. We're just gonna have to see if he can continue his
Yeah.
streak after this coming week. But he struggled against the Browns, which was I mean, yeah, he still had the 3 touchdowns, which isn't hard to do against the Browns. But getting sacked four
He
times,
dogging out. He dogging the Browns. Browns.
it's the Browns. Who doesn't dog them?
Oh yeah, man. But I'm interested to see these games this week, bro. We're going into what, week 7?
Yeah.
Yeah, week 7 coming in. Week 7 is gonna be a good week. I think week 7 is gonna. Some people, a lot of teams are gonna prove their stuff in week 7. Um, these first few weeks have kind of been like a struggle for some teams. A lot of injuries, which once again we are stricken with the injury plague. I don't know what's happening, bro, but the injuries are killing us, man. The injuries are killing these
Brittle.
guys.
Brittle.
Brittle.
Bunch of
We can't say the
brittle boys.
other word that you use with brittle, but um, I just think that week 7 is going to be. I think we're going to see some upsets in week 7. Even though we have our power rankings here, something's telling me that these power rankings aren't going to go the way we're predicting them in week 6. I mean week 7. So,
Speaking of predictions,
dun dun dun.
the segment we have at the end of our show now is our predictions for the upcoming game. And I have the upcoming games
Predictions.
here. And since you want to talk about people upsetting stuff, I'm going to let you make the predictions for the
Okay,
Thursday
let's
night
go.
game. Thursday night, everybody get ready for this. We're going to have the Chiefs are going to be going to Oakland to face the Raiders. What do you think's going to happen with that game?
I think Alex Smith's gonna take it. I think he's gonna take it. This is definitely not one of the upsets I'm talking about. But I mean, I think that like you said, the Chiefs needed that loss, um, and I think that they will regroup and come back, and
I agree.
they've tasted the L. They know what the L tastes like now. So but I think they'll come back stronger than ever this week. So I'm
You learn
sorry.
more.
Look out, Raiders.
You learn more from the mistakes you make than you do the successes that you
Yes,
have.
yes.
So I agree.
So
I think the Chiefs
Raiders,
are
be
going to blow
careful.
them out. I think the score is probably going to be
Yeah,
something like 38-10.
12.
Okay.
Go
And then we're going to move on to
ahead,
Sunday.
man.
Moving on to Sunday, we got the Ravens at the Vikings. What do you think is going to happen there? After the Vikings just came off of that division
Ooh.
win against Green Bay. Yeah, they didn't beat Aaron Rodgers, but they did beat their division rival Green Bay. What do you
Uh,
think the Ravens are going to do?
I think the Ravens will take it. I think the Ravens will take it. I really do, man. I think they'll take it.
You just want the Vikings to lose, don't you?
Yes, because that's my dad's team, and they beat us, and they injured us, and they injured Aaron Rodgers. So yes.
Is your dad watching right now? You hear what he's saying? You hear what he's saying about your team?
Oh yes. I hope my dad is
Nah, I
watching.
disagree. I think the Ravens are going to go into Minnesota and get their tail whipped. I think the score is going to be like 27-14 or some nonsense.
Okay, he ain't giving them no chance. Okay.
No,
All
not a
right.
chance in the world. Purple and yellow all day.
Uh-oh.
So then that next game we got the Saints at the Packers, and we already talked about this earlier. Both of us agree that the Packers are going to get whipped. It's going to
Wait a
be
minute
a
now. Wait a minute.
good.
Hold on. I think they're gonna lose, but I don't think
They're
they're
going
gonna
to get
get whipped.
whipped. They're going to get whipped.
Uh,
Henley,
I don't
what's
know.
his
I'm gonna
name?
be
What's his name? Hunley? Henley?
Yeah, man, Brett Hundley.
Yeah, he gonna throw another 3 picks. And everybody already saw what the Saints defense did to Detroit, and that was against Matthew Stafford. Imagine what they're gonna do against this rookie quarterback on his second play. Yeah, boy,
I
he probably
think
gonna go
even
3 or 4 picks, and they're probably two of them gonna be pick six.
okay. So once again, BJ, you're talking to two different BJs here. You have Sports Scrutiny BJ, and then you have Fan BJ. Sports Scrutiny BJ from the analytical
Hold
point
on,
of
hold on, hold
view.
on.
Okay.
Let me just check and see where this is broadcasting to. Is this broadcasting to Fan BJ at YouTube, or is this broadcasting to Scrutiny Live at YouTube? This is Scrutiny Live. I ain't worried about what your fan is. We gonna talk about your fan, BJ. I'll call you after the show, and you can tell me.
Okay. All right.
This is
All right.
sport.
Okay.
I'm just kidding, man. But no, I get you. I know that. I know you're a big fan of the Packers, but you got to think about it this way, for real though. You saw his performance last week, and then you think about how bad the Saints did. Think about what they did to Matthew Stafford, and you honestly can tell me that Hundley is even close to Matthew Stafford talent? No.
No, no.
So the Saints,
But he has. But how do we know where his mindset is right now? How do we know what Brett Hundley's mindset is right now? His
it
mindset.
don't
Go
matter where
ahead.
his
Go
mindset
ahead.
is. It don't matter where his mindset is. He could be all confident. He could be perfect. And no, the one thing that you need to learn, that you need to basically know, is the offense. I mean, he hasn't been in enough situations.
No, he hadn't. He hadn't.
You have to be in the
He's been in
situation.
college situation. He's been in college football situations. He hadn't really
Man,
been in any
I ain't worried
NFL
about no dang college
situations.
situations. College is so up and down and left and right. I mean, number two, Clemson just lost to Syracuse last Friday. That was
Yeah,
so much for being number two in the world or in the United
I know,
States.
right?
Come on now.
I
You
know.
get beat by Syracuse. I ain't worried about what happens in college. That's old. That's done. I think with if the Saints defense can do that to Matthew Stafford, I think they're gonna make the Packers look so bad. And I think the only chance the Packers might have is with Ty Montgomery and Aaron Jones, their running game. I think if
You
they are
don't. So
gonna
you don't think Jordy Nelson and Brett Hundley's gonna be in sync?
no.
Okay, because you do not. Because if Brett Hundley can throw the ball, if Brett Hundley can throw the ball, Jordy Nelson can catch the ball. If Brett Hundley can throw that ball, if the offensive line can hold them off, can do their job, which they hadn't been doing the best. If the Packers offense can hold the line and do their
I
job.
think what Hundley needs to do is he needs to call Matthew Stafford and ask him what he thought he did wrong.
Oh man, he killing them. He killing them. Go on to the next one, man.
Okay. I think the Saints are probably going to beat the Packers 45-7. The next game we're going to have
Woo!
Jets at Dolphins in that division game. I think Jay Cutler and the Dolphins in Miami are going to come off of that hot comeback over the runner-up Super Bowl and the runner-up in the Super Bowl last year. The Dolphins are going to come off of that sweet comeback, and they're going to beat their division rivals, the Jets. I'm
I
thinking,
agree. I
I'm
agree.
thinking it's going to be a low-scoring game. I'm probably going to say about 17 to.
25.
Nah, I'm thinking 17 to 10, maybe 17-14. I don't
17,
think it's.
14. Okay.
I don't think it's gonna reach 20. Both those teams aren't really that good.
4-1 Dodgers, bases loaded. Keep us up, Brian. Let us know what's going on, buddy.
The next game, we got the Panthers at the Bears. What do you think is gonna happen there?
Panthers, most definitely. The Panthers are, I mean, yeah, Cam Newton, they're going to take that, man. Even though Luke's not there to help out, I do believe that Cam Newton's going to take that one. He's going. They like you said, they do well on the road. They're 2-0 on the road.
Season,
So
yeah.
yeah, 2-0 this season on the road. So I definitely give that one to the Panthers.
I agree 100%. Even though I'm gonna give the Bears a little bit of credit, their running game is gonna run all over those Panthers without Luke there. But the Panthers, in the end of the day, Cam Newton's gonna put the team on his back. He's gonna take them to the win, 28-20.
28-20. Let me write that down. 28-20. All right.
And then we got the Cardinals at the LA Rams. I think
Ooh.
I think the Cards are going to take this in LA. I think Adrian Peterson's probably going to have another huge game. The Rams are also going to have a huge game, but the Cardinals are going to edge them out. I'm going to say probably 32-30.
And I have to agree with you there too, bro. With the Cardinals, Adrian, I have to agree with that because AP
Adrian
is.
Peterson is going to help them. He's gonna open up the passing game,
Hmm.
and the LA Rams, they're still going to have their high. They're gonna come back and they're going to have their high. They're going to
Hmm.
show us their high scoring offense, but I think the Cardinals are still going to take it 32-30.
32-30. Okay.
And then we got the Buccaneers at Buffalo. I honestly don't
Uh,
know. Actually,
you took the words
I
out of my
didn't even
mouth,
look.
bro.
I didn't even look and see if Jameis Winston was coming back.
I didn't see that either.
I forgot to check that. But okay, if
I don't.
Jameis
I don't
Winston
know who
does
would.
come
I don't
back,
know who would win that. I don't know who would
if
win that
Jameis
one.
Winston does come back, I'm thinking the Bucks take it 27-24.
The Bucks. Yeah, I was gonna say if I had to lean, if I had to choose one, if I had to make a bet on one, I would go with the Buccaneers.
I
I
never
would
bet
go
on
with the
Buffalo,
Bucks.
anyways.
No, you can't. You can't. But you can't. No.
And then the next game,
It's interesting about the Buffalo Bills. My uncle Tony played for them back in the day. My uncle Tony, God rest his soul. I miss him so much. He played for the Bills. Just wanted to throw
are you
that
being
in there.
serious?
I'm being dead serious. Yep.
Okay. The next game, we got the Jacksonville Jaguars at the Indianapolis Colts, and I think my boy Leonard Fournette is going to run all over those Indianapolis Colts, probably for a $150, $160, probably 2 rushing touchdowns. The Jaguars are going to come out on top, 31-14.
Yeah, because the last game he rushed for 130. So he rushed for 130 yards last game
And
against the
then the
Jags.
game before that, it was 180 against the Steelers.
Yeah, yeah, man, he's impressive. I give Fortnite. I wish he was
Yeah,
still on my fantasy team, but somebody
he
made me
was
trade him.
it was never on your fantasy team.
Yeah, he was.
Leonard Fournette, I drafted him.
Oh, I thought he was on my fantasy team.
No, he wasn't. Anyways,
I believe y'all scheme. I believe y'all scheming against me on fantasy.
yeah, you believe everybody scheme against you about everything. Someone would come up and ask you for a dollar and they give you 4 quarters. You think they scheming you?
Yup.
You got change for 5? No, you scheming me.
Yeah, exactly.
Anyways,
That's exactly
anyways,
right.
can you break a 20, BJ? No, you scheming me. Anyways, next we got the Tennessee Titans going into the Cleveland Browns, where I think the Tennessee Titans are just going to rip the Browns to
Tennessee
pieces.
Titans are going to win that one.
I think it's going to be 24-3.
Tennessee Titans taking that home, man. 20. Would you say 24-3?
Yeah.
Okay.
And then we got the Dallas Cowboys going to San Francisco 49ers. I think it's going to be a pretty close game, actually, but I still think Dallas is going to come out on top 27-20.
Hey, you never know, man. Were you talking about Jameis Winston?
Yeah.
He hurt his shoulder, didn't he? Dude, he's out.
Yeah.
He's out. Chandler Jones put him out.
Who?
Chandler Jones, linebacker, Cardinals linebacker.
Hold on. Pretty sure he's not out.
It says doubtful return. Doubtful
Yeah, that's a
return, bro.
doubtful return. That's not out.
We'll see.
They're out when they're out.
Go on to the next prediction, man. Let me get these predictions down pat.
Yeah, he says. Yeah, he's still projected to suit up.
Is it?
Yeah. Anyways. Oh, dang, what happened?
Just have to click back on it. That's all.
Okay, there we go. Next, we got the Bengals going into Pittsburgh, where they're going to get the tail whip.
Absolutely.
I think the Steelers are going to come out. It's probably going to be another hard-fought battle. Because the Steelers, they don't know how to blow anybody out anymore. They just don't know what's going on. I feel like the Steelers, the only way they win is by luck.
Man, we agreeing a lot here
So
today.
Big Ben, he just, man, they might as well just take that little leprechaun off the Lucky Charms and put Big Ben's face on that crap.
He is lucky, man, because he's so sloppy. He's so sloppy. Like his wins are so raggedy, bro. God. It's like, come
Like,
on, man.
forget the Wheaties box. Just put him on the Lucky Charms box. So they just replace that little leprechaun with a Big Ben.
Got a horse.
I think the Steelers are going to win that one 21-20.
21-20. Okay.
Then we got the Seahawks winning the Giants. The Giants coming off of their first win of the season. I don't think they're going to be able to do much against the Seahawks defense without the wide receivers. I think it was a big fluke that they beat the Denver Broncos, and the Seattle Seahawks are going to read all of that mess that they pulled off against the Denver Broncos, and the Seahawks are going to win
I think the
35-17.
I think the Giants they got their first taste of victory, man.
Yeah, they got their
You
first and
know,
last taste.
but I think it works the same way as an undefeated team taking that loss. In a way, in a way, it
Do you
works.
ever
I mean,
do you ever go on vacation to a place far away and you eat at a restaurant and you taste something that's so delicious, it's so good, but remember you're on vacation and you probably won't go back there again? That's what that win was like.
that's that's harsh, man. That's harsh on the Giants, man.
That's
Phew.
what that's like. That's what that's like. I think the Seahawks are just gonna make them. They're just gonna. It's gonna be bad.
Cold
It's gonna
blooded.
be
You a cold
35,
blooded murderer.
35 to 17. I'm giving 17 points probably because Russell might make a mistake. But that's about it. Probably thirty-five
Okay.
seventeen Seahawks. And then we got the
Okay.
Broncos going to LA to face the Chargers. Um, coming off of that loss against the Giants, man,
They lost to the Giants, bro.
I'm thinking the Broncos low scoring game. I think the Broncos might score twice. 14-10 Broncos.
14-10 Broncos. I'm gonna have to agree with that. I think the Broncos they need to bounce back.
And
They
then
lost to the worst team so far.
The Sunday. No, the Giants weren't the worst team. The worst
The
team is
second
the
the worst. The
is
second the
is
worst.
is the well
The Browns, ain't it?
Browns, 49ers, and then Giants.
Okay.
And then Sunday night game. Everybody tune in. It's the Super Bowl rematch, game of the week. Falcons are going into Foxborough to face Tom Brady and the Patriots, where I predict Patriots will probably be losing at half, and the Falcons will blow the lead again, and Patriots will come back and win. I'm thinking it won't be it'll probably be really high scoring. I'm thinking Patriots 38, Falcons 33.
Nah, I say nah. I'm gonna have to go with the Falcons on that one, man. I'm gonna have to go with the Falcons. They're number 7 on my list. Even though the Patriots are number 5 on my list, I'm gonna have to go with the Falcons, man. Marvin Hall's been very, very. He's been very, very an important player so far. They played a hard game against Miami last week with a 20-17 win, and they're playing good football. The Falcons are playing football.
Falcons
Good
ain't doing
football.
anything but choking away leads. They were up 17 to nothing at the half,
It's
and they
okay.
scored 3 points. They didn't
What
even score at all.
what they get? What is a what?
What I don't know. What is a what? What are you talking about?
A
Are you
win is a
speaking
win,
gibberish?
bro. A win is a win, bro.
Atlanta didn't win.
What? Oh, they did lose. That's right. I'm looking at it wrong. My bad. He got me.
They
He
were up
got me.
17 to nothing.
They got yeah. Okay.
They were
Okay.
up
Okay. Okay.
17 to nothing, and Jay Cutler after I mean just Jay Cutler led the Miami Dolphins.
But still, man. I mean, come on. The Falcons aren't doing too bad though. I mean, come on, man.
No, they're not. They're playing basic.
And the reason I didn't know, I missed that game by the way. But I
They're
watched the
playing
highlights from it.
basic. Everybody gives them so much credit because of the poor performance they had last year. But let me tell you something. It's 2017. It ain't 2016.
I say that the Falcons will win. It'll be a low scoring game, and I say the Falcons win 17-10. It'll be a back and forth game. It'll probably be tied at halftime, and I'm gonna say the Falcons win 17-10.
I think it's gonna be the same thing as the Super Bowl. Not the score won't be 20. It won't be like what was it? Uh, forget what the score. 24-3 at the half. It's not gonna be that brutal. But I think the final score is gonna be 38-33.
Okay.
favor the Patriots. I think the Falcons are going to have early lead. They're probably still going to have the lead probably in the third quarter, and they're going to blow it away like they always do.
What
And then the
about that Monday?
Monday night game, we got the Washington Redskins going to face the Eagles, and I don't think Washington is going to be able to stop the Eagles. I think the
Yeah,
Eagles
I'm
will
gonna have to
move
go
to
with the
six
Eagles
and
on that
one.
one.
The Eagles are going to win at home on Monday night, the big stage. I'm thinking 28-10.
Yeah, the Eagles didn't make my top 10 this week, but I would if you had to ask me who would win that game, I'd say the Eagles too. All because of my boy Carson Wentz. But I think that if they win this week, they'll definitely be on my power rankings for week 8. So most definitely, I would say the Eagles would win that
Yeah,
one.
how you don't have the best team in the NFC in your power ranking?
Because man, they didn't stand out to me this week, bro. They didn't stand out to me this week, bro. It's all good though. And plus Carson Wentz, he's killing my fantasy points. But anyways, uh, yeah, man. So what is that? Does that conclude our show?
Yeah, that's all I got.
That's
That's all
all
I
I
got.
got too, man.
That's all I
Hey,
got.
man, that was a good show today, bro. Hey, everybody, we appreciate the live chat, man. Man, Rob can't really see our live chat like that, but our live chat was jumping. Hey, man, we got guys, we appreciate that, man. We really do appreciate it. From MMA to football to baseball, man. Our live chat was rumbling and tumbling tonight. That's really good, man. Getting better with that. We really do appreciate it, guys. That lets us
Rumbling and
know.
tumbling.
Yeah, it lets us know what you guys are thinking. You guys weigh in. We definitely address your comments. So, I mean, keep it rolling, guys. Stay tuned with us till next week. We'll be here next week. Tell all your friends about us.
Well, don't stay tuned until next week. I mean, you
Well,
guys
don't
go have
stay
a
tuned,
life. Go have a
but
life.
look
Go to
for
work. Go get something to eat.
look look forward to us next week because we
Yeah,
will be
tune
right back
back in.
here.
Tune back in when we come live
Tune back in,
next Tuesday. But yeah.
guys.
Or
Make sure you
you
like
could
us on.
just stay tuned. Go back and watch some of our old videos. Put a like on there. Put a comment.
Yeah,
Share it.
if you
Especially
guys
last
like it,
week. Especially last week. Last week
yeah.
we had a
Last
big
week,
interview
guys,
with
don't forget
Tanya Evanger.
we were live with Tanya Evans. But right now, the people that are watching right now, I want you to press that like button for us. Do that. Can you guys do that for us? Can you hit us
And
with the like?
if you haven't already, hit the subscribe button. It's
And if you hadn't,
the big bright red one.
big bright red subscribe button. Hit that one. Tell all your friends about us, guys. When we get that contract from Fox or ESPN, or when we get those contracts, we'll definitely shout you guys out because y'all are where it started. So we appreciate it. We appreciate the love. Hit the like button. Hit the like button right now. To you guys that are watching, please hit the like button. It's the little thumbs up right below the video, like right there. So hit the like button. We appreciate it. You can follow us on Facebook, like us on Facebook, Sports Scrutiny Live. Um, you can follow us on Twitter at Sports Scrutiny Live.
I am gonna be working on
Uh,
our. I'm gonna be pulling up an Instagram profile too soon, so everybody look forward to that.
yep. We are expanding, and I tossed an idea at Rob today, where Facebook Live has updated, and where you can go live from Facebook with more than one person. So we may do it. Thanks for whoever just liked. Thanks for the like. Um, we're gonna do a special episode in the coming weeks. We're gonna do a Facebook
Yeah,
Live.
we probably that type of stuff. I'm thinking it might not be a Tuesday thing. That might be a we might use Facebook for our updates. If something big
Right,
happens between our shows, we probably hit that
right,
up. So everybody
yeah.
watching, and the fans that see our show later, look forward to that. But make sure you go and you like that Facebook page. We don't want you guys missing out.
And follow us on Twitter, guys, because um, we get a lot of interactions on Twitter. A lot of people show us love on Twitter. Um, that's where we're getting a lot of notoriety from. So make sure you guys follow us and tell all your friends about us. And just stay tuned till next week, guys. We're gonna bring you the hottest topics and predictions. Like I said, like we always say, guys, from episode one, we're two average Joes. We're doing this. We're enjoying doing this, and we're doing this for you guys. So as long as you guys stay with us and keep showing us love, we'll keep doing this every Tuesday night. So yeah, I'm having fun doing this. How about you, Rob?
Yeah, I'm having a blast. Can't you tell by my face? I'm just kidding. I'm just kidding. No, I do like it. I like all the love that we get. I like that we get a good steady amount of people coming and watching our show, and we do get some feedback, and the feedback that we get is fantastic. Um,
Yeah, anything you guys want to say, just drop it in the comment section below.
yeah,
And
just like the video, like it if you like it, don't if you don't. Leave a comment down below talking all the crap if you didn't like it.
yeah,
We'll come back with you.
yeah,
Definitely
we'll help
next
you
week,
out. We
Tuesday,
thanks for
9:30.
helping. Tuesday 9:30. We're keeping you guys entertained. But it's 11:27. We're a little over time. We ran about 2 hours a night. But hey, guys, we had so much to talk about. So I mean, we went a little bit over time tonight. We usually try to stick around that hour and 20 minute, hour and a half mark. But we went a little bit over. But thanks, guys, for watching. We appreciate it. And catch us next week, guys. We're out. Sports Scrutiny Live is out.
Y'all have a good night.
Peace. Good night, guys.